Welcome to my story, How I Became a BDSM Slave, the story of Jenna Martin. Hi, I am Jenna Martin. This is my story of how I became a BDSM slave. I was a shy, gifted student studying in a major university until things went tipsy-topsy. I ended up in jail, and from there I was introduced into the lifestyle of BDSM. The journey was rough, but I ended up in the best place I could ever hope for. So sit back and follow my story. By the way, I am on FetLife as GingerShy000. That is who I became.
Hi, Jenna Martin again. Before we begin, remember I am on FetLife as GingerShy000, the one place you can watch my whole story. This episode is brought to you by H66 Leathers and Gifts. They have straps, collars, restraints, gags, stuffies, cups, mugs, and more. The full adult play store. They also are on FetLife. Welcome to episode 1, Before a Slave. Enjoy it and come back for more episodes, please. Thank you and love you all.
My name was Jenna Martin. I was in college studying chemical engineering and doing quite well. I stayed after classes whenever I could to learn more than needed. That's me. Above, I was quite stunning, 5 feet 6 inches tall, red hair, mostly petite but a little curvy, a C-cup breasts. I was considered pretty smart by fellow students and faculty. I was a 3.9 student in high school and so far 4.0 here in college. I would relax at home and watch TV on the couch. Usually no one else was home when I did this, so I could watch what I wanted. I was pretty conservative in what I watched. I did not have a boyfriend as I was very shy. I now realize I was never really happy, and I had fantasies of being naked and tied up in front of a lot of people. I never told this to anyone before.
I had a job at a fast food restaurant so I could pay for some of my college and have spending money. It was an icky job, and Vicky Myers hated my guts because her boyfriend always flirted with me. I never flirted back though. I had to wear funny-looking uniforms. I wore this one when I was in the dining room waiting tables. I had another one when I was in the back on drive-thru. One night Vicky forgot her keys to her locker and asked me if she could lock her purse with mine in my locker. I thought nothing of it and let her. She then called the cops and told them I had drugs with me at work. She told my manager too, and he called the cops on me too. They came and searched my locker. The purse she put in there had drugs and nothing else. I was arrested on the spot. The cop was nice though and didn't cuff me until we got to his car if I promised to behave. I did, and he didn't cuff me at all. But this would change my life. My parents, embarrassed, didn't acknowledge me again even to this day. I lost my job and school chances.
Once I got to the jail, I had to strip to my underwear in front of everyone and be searched. While I was horrified, I secretly hoped they would then make me take my underwear off, but they didn't. Ah, chucks, lol. I had to raise my hands and run my fingers through my hair, kind of embarrassing, but I did a little dance to show off. The staff wasn't amused and chewed me out. This isn't a fashion show or beauty pageant, cut it out. Next, they gave me an orange jumpsuit, proving their point, I guess. I wasn't amused at this point. I hoped my parents would come bail me out. They told me they don't want drugs or druggies in their house. I explained that Vicky set me up and they simply told me to grow up and take responsibility. That is the only way I would ever heal and get off the drugs. I didn't know what to do. I had a cellie that was old enough to be my mother and told me of a man that could help me if I was willing to be a BDSM slave. She called this guy and told him about me, and the guy agreed to visit me if I wanted. She was to this point the only one to believe me. I reluctantly agreed to put him on my visitors list, and he came to visit me.
He told me to plead no contest when I go to court and he would take care of the rest. I was furious I didn't do it, and he wants me to plead no contest instead of not guilty. But I bit the bullet and did what he said. He was the only one helping on the outside at this point. The judge informed me since it was a misdemeanor I would spend 90 days in jail and be released if I had somewhere to go. Otherwise, I would have to wait for a bed in a halfway house. Not many of those for females. I already had 48 days in jail at this point and only needed 42 more days. Mr. Blevins, the man that was helping me, told the judge if I would agree to his rules, he would take me in. The judge advised me to obey him. I still had 2 years of probation.
Mr. Blevins visited me in jail and laid down the conditions. I was shocked at his rules and the fact his wife was okay with them. But I talked to her on the phone, and she told me most of the rules were hers, not his anyway. When my 42 days were done, and I was released into his custody, he brought me a dress to wear home. He informed me it wasn't mine and this would the first and last time I would wear it or anything ever again. It was as red as my auburn hair and so short it barely covered me. He told me to hold on to his arm. He walked me all the way from the jail to his house. It was about 2 miles of sheer humiliation, but I was becoming wetter with each step. He told me once we reach his house, slave training will begin. I had butterflies in my stomach. That concludes episode 1, Before a Slave. Thanks again to H66 Leathers for sponsoring this episode. This ends my vanilla life and I will be stripped of all clothing and rights from now on. The next time you actually see me I will be naked, so please return to my FetLife Gingershy 000. Thanks again and remember, I love you and stay kinky.
In a city where the night never sleeps, she walks alone, her steps so deep. Neon lights flicker reflections on her face. Each step takes her where desire's embrace. Kinky night, she's feeling wild and free, dancing through the shadows under the neon sky. Hidden desire, she lets them run. Kinky night where every moment's new. In the heart of the city she finds her way. Through the crowd she's not afraid to play. Each corner holds a secret, a chance to break free. Tonight she's the one who's bold and free. With every step she feels alive, the thrill of the unknown, her heart alive. Her sultry gaze a challenge to the night. Kinky night, she's here to ignite. Kinky night, she's stepping out of line. Embracing darkness, her heart divine. Hidden desires, they come to life. Kinky night, where every moment's right. Kinky night, she's breaking all the rules. Under the glow, she's finding her style.